Hello, kindergarten! Welcome back to your second to last week of online learning. We only have 6 more days of learning counting today. Are you ready? Do you want it to be summer yet? Are you really loving doing school at home? Ooh, I don't know, but I really miss you guys, like a lot. I'm really glad I get to see you at pickup once a week, but it makes me really sad that we can't be together at the end of the year because that's like the most fun part because we usually do lots of fun things. So I was thinking, how do I make the last 2 weeks of school really fun? And I thought, oh, I know, we'll play games. And then I thought, oh no, I can't see you guys. I can't hear you guys. That's not a good way to play a game. So then I thought, oh, we could do crafts together. I like crafts. I know you guys like crafts, but then I remembered, oh, what if we don't all have the same art stuff? Then I didn't send anything home with you, so I guess we couldn't do that. So then I thought we would do social studies and science together. Does that make you excited? Because it makes me really excited because I like social studies and I love science. So today we're going to do social studies, and then the next 2 days we're going to do science. Plus, we're still going to do phonics and math. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about science tomorrow, but we are going to go through our last 2 countries, one this week and one next week for social studies. Okay, so I'll tell you what that is in just a couple of minutes, and hopefully you remember a little bit about what we've been learning in social studies, because I know it's been a long time. Okay, but for phonics and math, we're mostly just reviewing because we've learned all of our new kindergarten things already. You guys have been doing a great job learning everything. So I thought, what could we do for phonics and math since we've been doing a lot of review lately? And then something really crazy came to me. Are you ready for it? Are you really ready for it? Okay, here it is. We are going to learn a whole new phonics chart today. That is kind of crazy. There are 18 new sounds on this paper. Wah! You might be saying, why would we do that? That sounds silly. That sounds like a lot. It is. But here's the reason. Are you ready for the reason? First of all, this is a first grade chart right here. First grade work. Do you think you can handle first grade work? Are you sure? Are you really sure? I think you can. That's why we're doing it. Plus, here's the other reason. Now, you haven't got these books yet, but I'm going to, at the very end of the year, I always send a little bit of extra work, which maybe you want more work. Maybe you're like, no, I'm done with that homework. Throw those away. That's up to you, okay? But I am going to send you some more reading books if you want to do some more reading this summer, okay? These family fun books that we've been reading, you guys have done a couple of them already. They are actually extra books. And once we get through our whole reading curriculum, they give us some extra books for classes that are doing a really awesome job with their reading. And guess what? You guys are doing amazing with your reading. And so this book, Family Fun at the Beach, hey Brenna, these are your books, and Family Fun in the Park, and Family Fun at the Play, those are all books that have first grade sounds in them. And there's a lot of sounds from our new phonics chart. So I thought, you can't read a bunch of books and not know what the special sounds are. That would be silly. So we're going to learn these in the next 2 weeks. Do you think you can do it? I think you can do it. I really do. So it's going to be kind of a lot today, and it's going to be kind of crazy to learn all of these sounds at one time. But don't worry, we'll go over them a bunch, and your moms and dads can help you with these. And then you'll be like extra ready for first grade next year. And Mrs. Riggs will probably be really impressed with your reading next year. Okay? So even if you don't want to do anything else, for school, for the summer, read, 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 read. It is important. Not just these books, any books, read them. It is good for you, okay? Even if you don't want to. And no complaining, right? No whining. Not at home, not at school, no whining, right? Okay. Are you ready? First, so we're going to review our sight words. Okay, so say these with me. These are some words that you might see in some of your reading this summer, because you might read a lot of books that aren't just school books. And maybe, hopefully, even the library will get to be open again, and maybe you'll get lots of cool books from the library. So here we go. Say these with me. I, they, have, some, does, you, there, to, from, was, were, your, been, any, says, the, of, a, come, said, very, do, are. All right, great job. I know some of those are new. We haven't worked on them a lot, but we're going to keep reviewing those for the last 2 weeks. Okay? All right, are you ready? Are you ready to learn a lot of new special sounds right now? Are you sure? I think you can do it. Okay. This is our first one on our new chart, your first grade chart. And it goes like this. It's ing, and it says ing. Do you say ing? It's ing in pointing ing. Can you say that with me? Ing in pointing ing. Can you point? Point to something. Point to something else. Point to something over there. Point to something over there. Point to something above you. Point to something below you. Okay, now you might say, what is this line for? This is called a hyphen. Okay, and we put this in front of a special sound. You'll see it. Let me show you. On some more of your special sounds down at the bottom. By the way, you should have this new chart in your packet. So once we go over this, you can be practicing it at home. Okay, you can practice these. That'll be helpful. But these are our suffixes. Suffixes. You might say, what is a suffix? Well, it's something you're going to talk a lot about in first grade, but is an ending that you can add to a word to change the word just a little bit. Okay, so you're going to start with a word, and then you add a little bit of an ending to change the meaning just a little bit. Okay, and this is called our root word, the word that we start with. And you don't have to know any of that right now because you're going to learn a lot of that in first grade and you're going to be practicing a lot. Okay, let's say this one together again. Are you ready? Ing in pointing ing. Okay, here's your next one. Are you ready? It's KN, and you don't hear the K sound, so you only hear n. Say n. And it goes n in not, KN. Say that with me. N in not, KN. Now, there are two different kinds of knots. The one knot, N-O-T, means you do not want to do something. I am not going to do that. But a knot with K-N is when you tie a knot in something like this rope. Okay, so this knot is when you tie a knot into something, like when you're tying your shoes. Well, hopefully you don't tie knots in your shoes. Don't do that. If you don't know how to tie your shoes yet, be practicing this summer. Mrs. Riggs doesn't want to tie your shoes all day long in first grade. Trust me. Okay? So, if you haven't been working on it, now is the perfect time. So, let's say this one together. N in not, K-N. Okay. Next, we have another N sound. This is G-N, and it says N. Say N. N in gnat, G-N. Can you say that with me? N in gnat, G-N. Gnat, like a little bug. And you don't hear the G in this sound either. All right, so now this is a lot of ending sounds we're going to be working on. So the first one is A-N-G, and it says ang. Can you say ang? It goes ang in bang, A-N-G. Can you try that with me? Ang in bang, A-N-G. Great job. Okay. Our next one, look, it's another I-N-G, and it says the same thing. It says ing, but this one says ing in king. Can you try that with me? Ing in king, I-N-G. Good. Now, we're going to go back and do these again in just a minute, so if you're like, wow, this is really fast, don't worry, we'll do them again. Here's our next one, O-N-G, and it says ong. Ong in long, O-N-G. Try that with me. Ong in long, O-N-G. So we have A-N-G, I-N-G, O-N-G, and now we have U-N-G. So U-N-G says ung. Can you say ung? This one is ung in strung, U-N-G. Can you try that with me? Ung in strung, U-N-G. Sorry, sometimes I forget kind of where I'm pointing, and especially because everything is backwards when I record it, so I have to kind of read backwards. But don't worry, it's not backwards for you. Okay, now we're going to change to NK, a vowel with NK. We're going to do a couple of these. Okay, this one says ank. Can you say ank? Ank. Ank in bank, A-N-K. Try that with me. Ank in bank, A-N-K. Good job. Okay, our next one ends with N-K, but it's I-N-K, and it says ink. Say ink. Ink in wink. Try it with me. Ink in wink, I-N-K. Can you wink? Can you wink with your other eye? Ooh, good job. If you can't wink yet, it's okay. All right, our next one ends with N-K as well, but it's O-N-K, and it says onk. Say it with me. Onk. It says onk in honk. Can you try that with me? Onk in honk, O-N-K. Whoa. Do you feel like this is a lot of special sounds? We're not done yet, so don't get tired yet. Okay, then we have U-N-K. It says unk. Can you say unk? Unk in trunk, U-N-K. Say that with me. Unk in trunk, U-N-K. Good. Just a few more. All right, now we have W-A. W-A says wah. Can you say wah? Wah in wash, W-A. Try it with me. Wah in wash, W-A. Now, make sure that you are listening to the sounds before you try to say them with me, okay? Just like we do in class, sometimes you guys like to try and say the whole thing with me before you know what we're going to say, and then you're not really hearing the sound. So make sure that you're listening to the sound that I'm telling you before you say it with me, okay? All right, here's our next one. It's a little bit easy. It's just an A. It says in adopt, A. Can you try that with me? In adopt, A. Now this one is a Y. Remember I told you guys that I in fly is for the end of short words? Well, I also told you that Y would say another sound that you would learn in first grade, but I didn't know you guys were going to do such great job at your reading and that we would get to the first grade sounds in kindergarten. So this Y says E. Can you say E? E in baby, Y. Do you guys want to hear something exciting? Remember, Elsie's mommy was going to have a baby? She had it just last week. Isn't that exciting? Or no, maybe it'll be 2 weeks ago by the time you see this. But she is cute. I saw a picture of her, and I think Elsie is really excited about her new baby sister. So, when you see this, you can think of Elsie and her new baby. All right. Next, we have L-E. It says ul. Can you say ul? Ul in little, L-E. Ul in little, L-E. Good. All right. Now, the next three are all the same letters, E-D, but they all three say something different. And look, this is another one with this hyphen. It is a suffix, so you're going to add this to a word. But remember, you don't need to know that until first grade, so don't worry about it. The first one says ed in wanted, E-D. Can you say that with me? Ed in wanted, E-D. Good. So our first ED says ed. Our second ED says t, t, like a T. Can you say that? T. It says t in looked, ED. Can you try that with me? T in looked, ED. Good job. And then the last ED says D, like D. D in played, ED. Can you say it with me? D in played, ED. So we have ed, t, and d for our ED sounds. All right. If you're like, whoa, I do not remember all of those, that is okay, because we are going to be working on these, okay? So we're going to go through these one more time, and then we're going to move on to math and then some social studies, okay? All right. So if you don't remember these, it's okay. I'm going to say them 2 times. If you remember it, say it with me both times. If you don't remember what it is, listen to me say it the first time, and then you say it with me the second time. Okay, so we're going to do these 2 times. So if you need to listen, do that first, then say it with me. Okay? So here's our first one. Ing in pointing, ing. One more time. Ing in pointing, ing. N in not, kn. One more time. N in not, kn. All right, these two are very similar. Remember, you don't hear the first letter, you only hear the N sound. Here's our second one. N in nat, gn. One more time. N in nat, gn. All right, now we're going to start into our ones that end with ng. Our first one is ang and bang, ang. One more time. Ang and bang, ang. Okay, here's our next one. Ing and king, ing. One more time. Ing and king, ing. Then we have ong in long, ong. Ong in long, ong. Ung in strung, ung. Ung in strung, ung. Ank in bank, ank. One more time. Ank in bank, ank. Ink in wink, ink. Ink in wink, ink. Then onk. Onk in honk, onk. Onk in honk, onk. Unk in trunk, unk. Unk in trunk, unk. Wa in wash, wa. Wa in wash, wa. and adopt A. And adopt A. E and baby Y. E and baby Y. O and little L-E. O and little L-E. These are our last three ED. Do you remember what they say? Ed and wanted ED. Oh, two times. Ed and wanted ED. T and looked ED. T and looked ED. D and played ED. D and played ED. All right. Really, really, really good job on those. We are going to keep practicing them so that when you get to these last three fun reading books, you will know what all of the sounds are. Okay? So be practicing this chart on your own. It looks like this. Whoa, that looks like a lot of sounds, but don't worry, you can do it. It'll take a little bit to remember all of them, but that's okay. All right, since this took us quite a long time today for phonics, and we saw math and social studies, we're just going to do a little bit short math time. Okay, so let me get my stuff ready, and then we'll get started. Just 1 second. All right, it's time for math. So we took a long time with phonics today, so we're just going to do a little bit of stuff. So we're going to start with our money poem, and then I found something kind of fun for us to do together. All right, so we're going to say our money poem. Do these with me. We have a penny here. Penny, penny, easily spent. Copper brown and worth 1 cent. Nickel, nickel, thick and fat. You're worth 5 cents, I know that. Dime, dime, little and thin. I know in cents, you're worth 10. Quarter, quarter, big and bold. You're worth 25 cents, I am told. A penny's worth 1, a nickel's worth 5, a dime is worth 10, and a quarter 25. Hey, honey bunny, I know my money, money. Okay, and then we're going to work on a little bit of time. I was going through my math stuff the other day, trying to clean a little and organize in our classroom. See, I even come to school and do some cleaning. And I got some new bins to organize stuff in. Nothing too exciting for you guys, but it's pretty exciting to me. And I was going through my math stuff, and I found these flashcards that have Disney characters on them, and they have little clocks. And so we're going to use these today for the time. So we're going to play a little game. I am going to show you a card like this, okay? And you have to tell me what time before I turn it to the back side where it tells you what time it is, okay? So you already saw the answer on that one, 8:30. Look, it's the genie from Aladdin. Okay, so see if you can beat me. Are you ready? Here we go. 10 o'clock. Oops, I got 2. Here's our next one. 9:30. 1:30. 11:30. Am I winning? Are you winning? Who's winning? 7:30. 3 o'clock. 4:30. By the way, these are some of my favorite Disney characters. Who's your favorite Disney character? 6 o'clock. Oh, here's one of my other favorite Disney characters, Mulan. 1 o'clock. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for you guys. 6:30. 12:30. Good job. 8 o'clock. 5:30. Look, she's reading just like you guys have been doing. 4 o'clock. All right, so I have just a couple more here for you. 10:30. 2:30. 9 o'clock. All right, we're gonna do 2 more. I have a couple left. Let me pick 2 exciting ones. All right, these 2. 11 o'clock. All right, last one. See if you can beat me. 5 o'clock. All right, really awesome job. Okay, that's all we're going to do for math today because you guys have been doing so awesome. Tomorrow, we're going to be learning a new addition family. It's our last addition family. All right. And now it's time for social studies. So give me a second and I'll get ready for that. All right, it is time for social studies. So we're going to start with a little review of our map today. And then we're going to talk about our country of the day. All right. So just adjust that a little bit. All right, so this is our map of the world. Hopefully you can see it. Maybe I need you to be a little closer. Okay, hopefully that helps a little. All right, now we've been talking about several different countries. So do you remember what some of the countries are that we have talked about? Good job. All right, so we're going to start over here. What country do we live in? Does anyone remember? What's the name of our country? The United States of America. And this right here, this purple part, that's us. Also up here, we have Alaska. And way over here out in the Pacific Ocean, we have, remember our other state out here? Hawaii. Good. So we started by talking a lot about the United States, and then we moved on to some of the countries in the world. So before we go over other countries, let's see if you remember what continents these are. All right. So the continent that we live in the United States of America, also our other countries to the north and south of us. Remember what that's called? North America. All right, and then to the south of us, that's going to be the south of us. Remember what continent this one is? South America. Good. All right, if we go across the Atlantic Ocean, this big continent right here, anyone remember what this one is called? I'll give you a hint. It starts with Africa. Good. Then our continent above Africa, it's made up of lots of little countries. Anybody remember what it is? Europe. Good. Then we come to our largest continent here, and actually we're going to talk about this country right over here. Anyone remember what our largest continent is called? Asia. Good. Then we're going to go down here. This is our only continent that it's its own country. Anybody remember what this one is? Australia. Good. And then down here, it's not in my picture, but at the very bottom of the world, let me get my globe here. I'll show you. Right here at the very bottom. Do you remember? It's really cold. Antarctica. Good. All right, those are 7 continents. All right, so we started talking about the United States. Then we talked about our neighbor to the north. Does anyone remember what country is right to the north of the United States? Canada. That's right. Canada's up here. Anybody ever been to Canada? I have. My dad's from Canada. My grandparents are from Canada. Well, my dad didn't live there very long. He moved here when he was 3, but my grandparents grew up in Canada. All right, what about to the south of us here under the United States of America? Mexico. Good. Then we traveled over to some islands here, these little tiny islands. Anyone remember what they are called? The Bahamas. That's right. Nice and warm and pretty down there. Then we went down to South America and we talked about a country there called Peru. Remember Peru? Then we traveled across the ocean and we talked about this red country, England, and the Netherlands, and Italy. Then we moved down to Israel and Kenya, and we made our way to China. And then we're going to come to our second to last country over just a little bit across the Pacific Ocean. It is surrounded completely by water. Do you remember what that's called? An island. So our country today is Japan. Can you say Japan? So Japan is made up of lots of islands, and it is a part of our biggest continent, Asia. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Japan today, and I have some pictures up here from Japan. This is what the country looks like up a little bit closer. You can see some different islands there of Japan. All right, this is Miyako, and she lives in Japan, and she is going to tell us a little bit about our country today, about her country. Okay, she is excited about having us come to visit her island country. She lives close to Mount Fuji, which is one of the most beautiful mountains in the world. If you look here, it's white at the top. What do you think that white stuff is? Snow, that's right. For almost all of the year, it is covered in snow. But in summer, people are allowed to climb to the top. If you climb to the top of Mount Fuji, you could see for miles and miles. Before we leave Japan, we will see many more mountains. There are so many mountains in Japan that there is not enough land for farming. These farmers have clever ways to get more land, though. So we have lots and lots of space for fields, especially here in Ohio and the Midwest. Where I lived in Illinois, there was lots and lots of farm fields around. But they have to do something kind of clever. So they cut steps into the sides of the mountains, and then they plant things on the steps. This is called terracing. The Japanese grow many good things, especially a lot of rice, because they eat rice almost every day. Would you like rice? Eat rice every day? Maybe. If you like rice, that'd be a good thing. The farmers flood their rice fields with water. Rice has to have wet fields to grow well. Miyako will take us to see Tokyo. This is a picture of Tokyo here. Tokyo is one of the largest cities in the world. Someone pushes us as we start to get on a crowded train. Miyako explains that the pushers are not being rude. During the busy times of the day, these people get paid to push so more people can get on the train. Be a lot different. As the train pulls out of the station, we will see signs that have the same kind of writing we saw in China. That's because the Japanese write with characters too. Kind of like when you guys practiced on your Chinese packet, you had to practice writing that little symbol. Those are called characters. So each word has a character instead of different letters in words. You have to look quickly on their trains because it starts going so fast. Their trains can go up to 150 miles per hour. That's almost twice as fast as you can go on the highway. No wonder they called this train the Bullet, because it's really, really speedy. Japan has had many earthquakes. In Tokyo, you can usually feel the ground shake a little every few days. Once in a while, a bad earthquake will shake Japan so badly that the buildings fall down. The Japanese also eat a lot of fish. They often have sushi. Sushi is rice with things like fish and vegetables added. And it's usually rolled up. Has anyone ever tried sushi? I have never tried sushi. Okay, I have a few questions for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this one. So we had Tokyo, Mount Fuji. This is Japan. Which continent is Japan located on? Do you remember this big one right here? Asia. What beautiful mountain is in Japan? Mount Fuji. What are the fast trains in Japan called? Bullet trains, because they're really speedy, right? What do Japanese farmers do to make more farmland? Remember they cut steps into the sides of mountains and they plant their plants there? And that was called terracing. What food do most Japanese people eat every day? Rice, that's right. All right, now let's look at this card over here. Miyako has invited us to have lunch with her. When you go in her house, we will take off our shoes because people in Japan don't wear shoes in their house. Miyako will give us slippers to wear. We sit on cushions around a short table. So look how tiny that table is. Would you like to sit at a table like that every night? Maybe, maybe not. Might be fun to do sometimes. Soon we are eating sushi and drinking green tea. We will have to get more practice eating with chopsticks. Remember we saw some chopsticks when we talked about China, because the Japanese eat with chopsticks too. Do you think you'd be very good at eating with chopsticks? I don't know if I would be. In Japan, it is good manners to slurp your soup loudly. That's a sign to your hostess that you are enjoying your food. Would that be a good thing to do at your dinner table? Nope, but that's what they do in Japan. Some Japanese live in apartments and homes that look like ours, but many live in homes that look like Miyako's. Their walls are made of paper. They can slide them open or closed to make the rooms bigger or smaller. They do not sleep on beds like ours. They often sleep on a futon. A futon is like a warm padded comforter. Some Americans are sleeping on futons now too. Japanese homes have beautiful gardens. You can see this is a really pretty garden here. Maybe I better show you up close. Ooh, see how pretty that is? And if you look at the picture next to it, a lot of people have fountains and koi fish. These are called koi fish right here. Have you ever seen a koi fish? They're really pretty and they get pretty big too. All right, Japanese children are taught to be very polite to their teachers at school. Miyako bows to her teacher when she comes to school in the morning and bows again when she leaves in the afternoon. She has a lot of homework to do. Japanese children work hard in school. Miyako practices a long time to make her writing look just right. How about you guys? Have you been taking your time and doing it really nice on your handwriting papers? I looked at some of your papers from last week. Uh-oh, some of them need a little bit of improving. Some of you guys are doing really great. And I think you know if you're doing really great, or you could be doing a little bit better, or maybe even a lot better. Make sure you're doing your best. In Japan, boys love to play baseball and girls like to play softball. They also enjoy other sports like swimming and volleyball. What about you guys? What's your favorite sport to play? I like volleyball and I really like swimming too, but just for fun, for swimming. All right, I have a couple questions for you again. How are Japanese homes different from yours? What are some things that you think might be different? This picture might give you a little bit of an idea. You could have said low tables with cushions, futons instead of beds, sliding paper walls. What might you have for lunch in Japan? Any ideas? Possibly sushi and green tea. And do you remember what sports I said they like to play in Japan? Baseball, softball, swimming, volleyball. All right, so our country for today is Japan. Do you want to know how to say a couple of things in Japanese? That's what they speak over there. All right, let me look here. Ooh, one of them is kind of exciting. I'll tell you why in a second. All right, if you wanted to say hello to someone, you would say konnichiwa. Can you say konnichiwa? Konnichiwa. And then if you wanted to say good morning, this is the kind of fun one. Ohio. Can you say Ohio like our state? That's how you could say good morning, Ohio. And then the last one is if you want to say goodbye, you say sayonara. Sayonara. Can you say that? Sayonara. All right. Great job today. That's all I have for today for you. Tomorrow we're going to be doing math and phonics and science. All right. Sayonara. See you later.